The fifth quarter with Chad Doing starts now. Call Chad right now at 503-248-0620. The fifth quarter is presented by Coors Light, keeping Portland chill.
Wherever you are in your car, you should just pull over. This is going to be a moment.
Chance of MVP rain down as Damian Lillard hits his 59th point to match his career high against the Jazz. One more free throw here for Dame. '60. Damian Lillard's career high is 61. He's got 60 for the fourth time in his NBA career.
.60 game in NBA history. 60 points. He was 21 of 29 from the field, 9 of 15 from three, 9 of 10 from the foul line. And, oh, by the way, he added in 7 rebounds and 8 assists. It was the fourth 60-point game of Dame's career. And the part that's ridiculous, if you look at the all-time list in NBA history, Wilt Chamberlain, no surprise, set the NBA mark. He's got 32 career games with 60 or more. Second on the list is Kobe Bryant with 6. And third is Damian Lillard, along with Michael Jordan and James Harden. But Dame with his fourth 60-point game tonight. And what I love most about the game, he had a chance in the final couple of minutes to set a new career high and franchise mark. He has done it before, 61 twice. That's the franchise record. That's his career high. So all he needed was a bucket. But I really liked the approach down the stretch because he didn't want to cheapen the moment. He didn't want to get something that was garbage-like or junk. So he didn't force it. He didn't take over the offense. He didn't try to force himself into the play. He just allowed things to unfold. And if he had an opportunity to get a shot, he would take it. If not, he wasn't going to force it up. And that's the way it should be done. Don't disrespect the game or try to force yourself into the action to get your shot up. If you get the look and you knock it down and you reach 62 or 63, boom, good for you. But don't force it and cheapen the moment and the situation. And he didn't do that. He got a 3 up with 29.1 seconds remaining in the game. It rolled off the rim. And after that, of course, the Jazz shot and the Blazers ran out the clock. But I really thought the way Dame handled himself down the stretch was classy. I respect it a great deal because, you know, there'd be a bit of a temptation when you're one bucket away from setting a new career mark to go after it, but he didn't do it. The 3 that he took wasn't forced. It came within the flow of the offense to a certain degree. It didn't go in, and he's okay with it. 60 points tonight for Dame. And it was a terrific display of shooting, of efficiency, and his, 3-ball once again was just dynamite. And, all the talk, if you remember, let's go back to last year. He had the core surgery. What we had seen prior to the surgery with Dame on the floor did not look good. He wasn't right. And there were many that were concerned that he may never return to form or become that elite NBA player that we knew, that it would be different. And I was confident once he had the procedure and took all that time off to get his body right, his mind right, get focused, spiritually, everything, and had a chance to be 100% and be able to move on the floor, that with time and getting back into his rhythm, he'd return to form. And that was one of my expectations for the year, that Dame would hit the floor and return to MVP-type form. And he's done that. He's answered all the questions. He's played big minutes. Aside from the games that he's missed with the calf when he got nicked up. He's been healthy, he's been strong, and he's returned to form. And it's nice to see him out there moving on the floor, not laboring with that core issue. Remember how hideous that was over the last year? To see him out there not being able to move, get to his spots, and struggling to gather himself defensively. I mean, that sucked. So to see Dame back to the Dame that we know, in elite form, in his prime, healthy, and knocking down shots and being aggressive is terrific. And frankly, they need this right now. This is a team that's struggling on both ends of the floor. You've had guys who have gone through shooting slumps, and so they need that pick-me-up. And who better to do that than the franchise player Damian Lillard, who time after time after time continues to show what he's made of. You know, I respect him for a lot of things. The way that he works, the way that he quietly goes about his business, the way that he never throws his teammates under the bus, and how he's able to remain focused and even keel regardless of win or loss. That's what he does. That's how he operates. And so I respect it, man. And tonight was great. And, you know, these are the moments we have to remember to enjoy. Because right now, Dame is in his prime. He's playing like an MVP. And we have to enjoy it because these moments don't last forever, you know, when you're 32 years old. He's not done, and he's not anywhere close to being finished. But, you know, he's right there at that stage of his career where he's going to show us what he's got, his best. And then, like any other great star, he will fade and move on to the next phase in his life. So we've got to enjoy it right now because he looks awesome. And he is, I really like what we've seen over the last couple of weeks where he's been in attack mode. He's been going downhill, attacking the rim ferociously, and been very aggressive in getting to his spots behind the three-point line. And I really love it when he's working downhill. When he's attacking the rim, getting to the foul line, it just seems like it wakes up every other part of his game. And he's not settling right now. He's being aggressive, looking for spots to attack the teeth of the defense, getting to the rim, getting to the foul line, and then obviously using his, you know, abilities with the bounce, getting to his spots, the step back, and creating opportunities behind the three-point line. But when you drop 60, the most efficient 60 of all time, you go 21 of 29 from the field. You do so in less than 40 minutes. You make 9 of 10 from the foul line, 9 of 15 from three. I mean, that is getting it done. Wow, what a performance. Dame is special. Tonight he was remarkable. And I think in many ways, the best offensive performance we've seen in his career. Let's take a listen to him on the floor after the game with Brooke Olsendale.
Goodness gracious, Damian Lillard, 60 points, 50 in just 3 quarters. What does having a performance like the one you had tonight feel like?
I mean, it just feel like you can always control the outcome of the game. You know, just even when they started to, you know, close in on the lead and we had some bad turnovers and things were going their way. You know, when you're in that type of group, you just feel like you can always get it going back in the right direction for the team. And that's how I felt, you know, like even if it starts to go bad, I can get us out of this one. So it was just, you get in that type of zone, you feel like you can control the outcome.
You were hitting threes, a lot of them. You were taking it to the rack. What were you seeing from Utah's defense tonight?
I mean, they came out in a drop defense. So, you know, the big is in the paint. They try to funnel you to the rim, into their shot blocker. Kessler's a hell of a shot blocker. So I knew it was going to be important to be able to, you know, make a move at the level of the screen and come off of it clean, and I was going to be able to get some good looks at the rim. And then once it started going from there, you get the defense off balance, and, you know, you just got to play the game. You know, take what they give you. Then I started getting downhill, getting to the rim. I was hitting the pocket. I was, you know, passing it ahead, and then I just pretty much started having my way because I was hitting threes. So that was my read.
And above all, I know you were most pleased that you got the win. How did it feel?
I mean, it feels great. You know, I've had these types of performances, and we've come out on the losing end. So, you know, just to know that this type of effort came in a winning effort, it means that much more, especially with what our team has been going through. You know, the most important thing was to make sure that we came out on the winning side. So I'm happy that I was able to contribute the way I did in the game that we needed to win against a good team.
Fantastic job tonight. Congrats.
Thank you.
There you go. There's Dame. 60 points tonight. The most efficient 60-point game of his career. The 4th time he's done so. Just 2 shy of setting an all-time new mark. His career high is 61. He's reached that twice And, of course, that is the Trailblazers franchise record as well. What's going on, my friends? Fifth quarter, Chad doing, Chris Burkhart. You can also jump on the YouTube live stream if you'd like and check things out inside the studio. I apologize for my hair. I have a haircut scheduled for tomorrow, but I'm getting a little bit shaggy, so I hope you can deal with my appearance. Just go to youtube.com and pull up Rip City Radio. You'll see the homepage right there and the live link for YouTube. Well, I'll tell you what, Burkhart, Dame was special tonight, man. 21 of 29, 60 points. Oh, by the way, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals. Masterful performance by him.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's special every night, Chad.
Dude, I love watching him play. When he's got a heater like this going, and you and I looked at each other when we were watching the game here in the studio. He had that one shot where he pulled up from near half court.
Heat check.
That's all Chris said. He goes, heat check. And
That's
he
what it
referenced
is.
that. We'll hear from him later in the game in the locker room. But he goes, dang, it could have been more efficient if I wouldn't have pulled up for that shot. But he
Yeah.
had no choice.
No.
I felt like at that point, you've got to pull up from that distance just to see how good you got it going.
No, when you're a guy like Dame, or you see it with like Steph too, and you're hot, they just slowly start extending that range because you can, right? You can't stop me. I can only stop myself. Have some fun with it. I mean, 60 points. That's wild. Not very many people in the history of this league, when you count the amount of people who have played in it, have dropped a score that starts with a 6 or more. It's a pretty elite company, and to do it multiple times, I think he's putting to bed this argument that, post-surgery, he's just not going to be the same. I think the downhill's starting right now. No, 50s and 60s, he's still got it.
Tonight was another good example, too, of, we talk about Dame and his importance to the team and what it means basketball-wise and to his teammates. But for the Trailblazers franchise and the business side, he is the meal ticket. He's why you tune into games. He's why you buy tickets and go see them in person. He brings people to Moda Center because they want to see him do this right here.
Oh, yes. As the old saying goes, he puts butts in seats.
He does. And that means something.
Mm-hmm.
And the franchise knows that. I mean, he is the reason why you tune in. He is their superstar, and it's nights like this. And what I love about the game that he had tonight, the team is struggling right now, not playing great basketball. They've been struggling defensively. They've been struggling now on offense. They haven't been winning a lot of games of late. So they needed this performance from Dame to carry them because they got off to another slow start tonight, but yet there was Dame hitting big shot, getting involved in the offense. He had 26 points in the first half, hit 6 threes, but, he helped get them back into the game with his energy and his shot making. And, it's nice to have your star really step up and kind of say, hey, I know we're going through some issues right now. You just heard him talk to Brooke about that, but it's okay, man. Jump on my back. I've got us. I can carry us through the difficult times, and that's what big-time players do. That's what star players do, franchise players.
Yeah, for sure. In this particular performance, Chad, we've seen them both. We've seen the ones where he has a night like tonight. We've also seen the ones where he drops 50, and it felt like he needed every ounce of energy and every single point of that 50 or more for the Blazers to stand a chance. He was all they had. This one felt a little bit more like, yeah, Jeremy and Ant and everyone could have got going, but they didn't need to. And it's a much different point explosion, right? Because I don't think that he needed 60 for them to win this game. When you're hot, right? It was an unbelievable performance. And he's one of the few players that I've been fortunate enough to see live, and I'm sure you have a little bit longer list than I do, but that have that ability to just flip a switch and take over a game and be unstoppable.
Like he said, I felt like I could have whatever I wanted tonight.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that's got to feel pretty good. When you're that hot and you're in control of your game, you're getting to your spots, you're breaking the defense down off the bounce, you're able to hit your step backs, you're getting to your three-point line, knocking down shots. That's got to feel powerful. I love it.
It's got to feel incredible, man.
All right, we'll keep things rolling here on fifth quarter. If you're on hold, stay there. 503-248-0620. We're going to hear from Coach Billups. We'll hear from Dame. Blazers get the win tonight, 134-124 over the Utah Jazz. They'll get a couple of days off. And next up, the Toronto Raptors at Moda Center Saturday night, 7 o'clock tip here on 620 Rip City Radio.
It's time for the Nothing But Net Shot of the Night here on the fifth quarter, 620 Rip City Radio. The Nothing But Net Shot of the Night is brought to you by Oregon Dungeness Crab. Sustainably harvested, uniquely delicious, and always wild. Oregon Dungeness Crab always sounds good for dinner.
Inbound to Simons, 5 seconds left. He turns the corner and drives to the baseline. Out to Little. Little, a prayer to beat the buzzer, buries it! And the Blazers with a season-high 47-point second quarter.
All right, fifth quarter, the Trailblazers get the win over the Jazz tonight, 134-124, but that's not the story. Dame Dalla is the story as he pumped in 60 tonight, 2 shy of setting a new career high. 61 is the mark. 62 would have been a new record for himself and the franchise, but he'll settle for 60 as the Blazers able to get the win. And to go along with that, 21 of 29 from the field, 9 of 15 from 3. He had 7 rebounds and 8 assists, also 3 steals. He was sensational tonight. Truly one of the finest games you'll see from Dame, and it was fun to watch, man. Both Chris and I enjoyed it, and you could see early on he was looking for the heat check. He was feeling it, and I just love the way he's been playing over the last couple of weeks with his aggressiveness. And not just settling for the 3, but attacking downhill. And he is, he's something else, man. He is a special player. Let's go out to Dan in Southeast, who joins us here in the fifth quarter. What's up, Dan?
Oh, well, Chad, I actually didn't get to see most of the game, but I just wanted to call in and say that we really need to trade Dame. You know, you just can't build a team around a player like that, especially after he's lost a step. We just need to blow it up and get what we can for him. Hey, dumbasses. Damian Lillard is one of the greatest shooters in the history of the NBA. 60 points on 29 shots. Dude, that is elite. That is incredible. And it's not just what he puts up on the scoreboard. It's the way he tilts the gravity of the entire floor. How many times we see 2 dudes totally crowding him, opening up opportunities for everybody else. I love that he got those 60 within the flow of the game. Like you said, it wasn't like he was pressing and scraping for every bucket. He just was on one and knew he could get a bucket anytime he wanted. It's a special thing to see, and it doesn't happen that often. So that was phenomenal, man.
And you know what, Dan? You're so spot on, too. It's like instead of trying to point the finger at Dame, why not, as a franchise, try to go out and do a better job of putting players around him, for crying out loud? Gosh.
Good. Preach it. Well, you said that the team really needed the win tonight, and that's true. But I'll tell you what, man, this city needed the win. You know, I've been stressing so much. Blazer Nation's been, just out of sorts over this losing streak, and we have a lot of questions yet to answer. But you can only win one game at a time, and a win like this where, Dame was demonstrating that he is still truly a force to be reckoned with in the league. And, again, doing it in the flow of the offense with the other guys, picking up, supporting him, getting him the ball, recognizing that he was on one on a heater and, doing everything they could to support that. It just felt like it feels weird to say this, but it's not that often that you see a 60-point game that felt like a team effort at the same time. I thought everybody played really well across the board. I'm a little worried that Josh Hart could be out for some time, but if there ever was a silver lining, I'm like, it's a good thing that Nasir Little's back, and he looked pretty good tonight. I think he's going to be able to cover those minutes pretty well. And it's times like this that you're grateful for the depth that we invested in at the wing. I thought GP2 looked great. Just a terrific win, man. Awesome night, and looking forward to keeping it rolling against the Raptors.
I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, man. Good call, Dan. Yeah, he's right about one thing. How about Dame? Not just dropping 60, but doesn't it always seem like the superstars, the difference makers, always have that special touch to where they do something special when you need it most? And as I talked about on the pregame on Blazers game day, the Blazers franchise has been through hell over the last week. To lose 2 dear employees, the mayor of Rip City and Bill Schonley, who meant so much to so many people over the years, and then also John Curry, who had been with the franchise as a great photographer, 40-plus years with the franchise, a great American, 2 tours in Iraq, great guy, so many people who adored him. And you lose 2 quality individuals like that over the course of a couple of days. That's a lot to take in for a franchise. So leave it to Dame to come out and have a night like this, a special night, to, give people something to feel good about and to celebrate, through such difficult trial. That's what stars do. Let's go out to Ken in Vancouver. Ken, what's up, man? Fire away.
Hey, Mr. Special, man. It is an amazing thing to see. I never get sick of it. And this is why I never want to see him go till he's ready to retire. And you being a Bronco fan, humor me here a little bit on this one. It was 1996. I was living in Denver. And I remember we lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Worst loss I have suffered as a sports fan in the history of my life.
Well, I'm in the stadium, okay? When they show the NFL films, they show a picture of they pan over to the Jacksonville section in the third tier, and I'm right behind that cameraman. And just sitting there near the end of the game going, how did this happen? And Shannon Sharp after the game said, this is going to set us back years. It was down. It was down moments. And I remember Mark Kisley, you know that name, season ticket holder, very famous Denver columnist. He came out with an article and said, it's time to get rid of Elway. It's time to get rid of him. It's time to see what we can get a haul. I've heard that on your station. Even let's get a haul for him. Let's see what we can get for Elway and move on and start over. And the Broncos did not do that. Mr. B was not stupid. Mr. B said poppycock on that. And they got more players. They got better players. They brought in Neil Smith, who wasn't finished as a pass rusher. And they ended up winning, I think, a couple seasons after that. And there's this rush to get rid of a generational player that comes. That's why they're called generational players, because they only come around once in a while. And, yeah, while we have some nice young talent and we hope that they turn out to be great, there is no guarantees. And as I get older, because I'm 58 now, and you talked about it earlier today about facing finality and everything, and I just know that living in the moment is more important now than ever before. And living in the now is so fun with Damian Lillard. He makes this experience just special. He's what matters. When you see the nation, they talk about him. He's 10th in jersey sales. 10th in jersey sales. A guy who some wanted to kick out of town. He's done. He's has been. He's over. I just enjoy special out there. Most of the Blazer fans do. They really do. Dan, great call. Most Blazer fans enjoy special when they see it, but there's an outspoken minority that likes to call in and they like to hammer Dame on everything. There was a guy on this chat here who said he gave up 50 points tonight on defense himself. Well, I don't know what game he was watching, but that's the kind of sarcasm and snark you get from people who I don't think understand special. And I just want to thank Dame again for all these moments. I've had some of the most special moments, and I'm hoping I have another one on Saturday. One of my Christmas presents was getting to go to the Toronto game. I'm looking forward to it, going with my daughter. She's a big-time Blazer fan, and we're taking in the whole experience, go early. And I just want to thank Dame. That's what special is all about. And one more thing, on the rest of the team was fantastic. Is the bench, like Dan said, was great. And Ant, some of his best facilitating I've ever seen in that early fourth quarter and even late. And that's the kind of play we need surrounding Dame to make this thing a easier path. But thanks, Chad, for humoring me there.
I got it, man. Appreciate that. 9 assists tonight for Ant. And by the way, Kenny, great job using the word poppycock.
Speaking of special, Chad.
Now to continue on, here's a little upbeat tune called You Make Me Feel So Young. You make me feel so young. You make me feel so spring has sprung. And every time I see you grin, I'm such a happy individual. The moment that you speak, I want to go play hide and seek. I want to go and bounce the moon just like a toy balloon. Oh, you and I are just like a couple of tots running across a meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when I'm old and gray, yeah,
Well, I'll tell you what,
I'm
Burkhardt,
gonna feel the way
Bill
I
Schonely
do.
might have been a better singer than he was a radio guy.
You make me feel
Yeah, I said it to Dwight.
so young.
I said it to Dwight because we played it on the on Rip City Drive the other day. Like, this makes me want to go watch like old school Ocean's 11 with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. Like, he fits right into the Rat Pack, man, and that singing voice is money.
I loved it. My dad and my papa used to get into discussions of all the time of who was better, Sinatra or Dean Martin. And I enjoyed that. But, yeah, Bill Schonely, what a singer he was. Great phone call by Kenny. And, you know, he's right. Dame's a generational talent. A generational talent and so much fun to watch. And what a pleasure it is. 60 points, 21 of 29 shooting tonight. And, you know, the Blazers, I wouldn't say they played a great game, but he did point out Ant tonight, 16 points and 9 assists. Good facilitating from Ant. You got 19 points from Jeremy Grant. And now we'll just have to wait and see Nurkic and Hart. Wouldn't you think that Nurkic and Hart are probably going to miss some action? I'd be surprised to see those guys play on Saturday.
Yeah, I would too. I think at this point, Chad, you don't want to risk anything, even if the injury is just a slight little flare-up.
Even if it costs you a game or two, you got to be healthy down the stretch.
Yeah, they have to be, especially with, I know we have hammered home how they need wins and how bad they've been playing at times, but we got to remember, I mean, we talked about it pregame. There's, 3 games out of being 6th seed. So you need to be rested because there's going to be games down the stretch that matter a lot. And, yeah, I would not be shocked if they miss a game.
All right, we'll come back on fifth quarter, and when we do, we're going to step into the coaches' corner. We'll hear from Billups. We're going to hear from Dame a little bit later. Blazers get the win tonight, 134 to 124. Dame was 60, the 4th time he's reached that mark in his career. 1 bucket away. He missed a 3 with 29 seconds remaining that would have given him a new franchise mark at 63, but it wasn't meant to be, and the best part is he didn't force it, and I respect that. All right, fifth quarter. Chad Doing and Chris Burkhardt here in your home of the Blazers, 620 Rip City Radio.
Oh, let's come in and talk to YouTube for a little bit. Ken's still going on that he thinks John Collins is the guy. You know, it's funny, Ken, you called during the pregame show, and Preston was sitting right here. He hadn't left yet, and you were like alluding to it. You're like, there's a guy out there I think could use a change of scenery, just like Lowry Markkanen. I look at Preston, and I said, he's talking about John Collins. And then you said, John Collins, we know you. You're on brand. It's beautiful. Nerlens Noel for Josh Hart, not in a million years. Nerlens Noel is not moving the needle. I think that name, I think, is people living in the trust the process era and knowing how good he can be defensively. But Drew Eubanks metrically is playing better than he is and has for a while. Just give me Drew Eubanks. His defense has been great. I do like what I'm seeing there, and do appreciate you guys pointing out the Hawaiian shirt today, showing love to my heritage. And I didn't let down the Maui hair, just kept it up in the bun. But no, I don't want a Hawaiian vacation right now. I'm just living Hawaii all the time. I'm lying. I do want a Hawaii vacation. Who doesn't want to go to the islands if they can, right? So, yeah, if you guys can make that happen, make it happen. But, yeah, keep talking trades up in the chat. We'll get it going. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. What else we got? Nick asked, why aren't the Blazers wearing bill patches on the jersey yet? That's interesting. Maybe they're trying to figure it out, Nick. It's not like you could do the number 6. I don't know. Maybe the NBA has something in place because they already have a patch. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're about a minute and a half back. The phone lines are lighting up again, so I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you guys in about a minute.
It's time for the Portland Trailblazers Drive of the Night, here on the fifth quarter, hosted by Chad Dewing, 620 Rip City Radio. Drive of the Night is brought to you by Dick's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Wilsonville, ready to compete with the lowest prices in town.
Dame crosses, goes behind his back, he drives to the rim right, and got it! Beautiful move for Damian Lillard.
All right, fifth quarter, where tonight the Trailblazers take out the Utah Jazz 134-124. Dame was 60 points tonight in 39 minutes to go along with 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals on 21 of 29 shooting. He was special. Wow. 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. The Blazers now will get 2 days off. The Toronto Raptors are going to be in town on Saturday. That game will tip off at 7. Game day will start at 4:30, and the big question now is how long will both Hart and Nurk be out, as they both left the games tonight with injuries. We'll have to wait and see. The Blazers right now with back-to-back wins and trying to get themselves on the right track. And Dane tonight was able to step up and deliver in a time where the team really needed it. They had their issues tonight, got off to a slow start down 31-19 at the end of the first, but they erupted for 47 points in the second quarter and were able to gain some advantage. They extend their lead into double digits going into the fourth quarter. All right, time to step into the Coach's Corner.
It's time for the Coach's Corner with Chauncey Billups on Blazers Game Day, presented by Henderson & Daughter. Henderson & Daughter has been supplying superior design service, quality windows, entry doors, patio doors, and window installation to the Portland and Southwest Washington area since 1977. Before you decide to just replace your current windows or exterior doors, have our designers present you with a free in-home design consultation and estimate to show you the different styles we carry that can give your home a fresh new look. Henderson & Daughter, your window and door experts.
All right, here's Coach Billups following the game. Let's hear what he had to say about Dame.
You don't get to see that very often, to be that efficient. For a guy to score 60 points and only 10 free throws and make 9 of them, I mean, you're thinking like this dude either has absurd amount of threes it was just incredible. I mean, how efficient he was. But that's not all he did. I mean, shoot, he goes get 7 rebounds and 3 steals, 8 assists. I mean, he was all over the place. And we did a really good job of understanding who was hot and keep riding that hot hand. And it was just fun, to be able to watch greatness like that. That was incredible, man.
Were you hoping he was going to break his own record?
It's so funny, man. That's the only reason I kept him in the game is I would have got him out I told him when I pulled him over, I said, bro, what are you doing? We run the same play. I'm trying to get you your career high. He looked at me and said, oh, okay, I'll get it. I said, bro, I would have got you. I got you the standing all you deserve. But, yeah, I mean, that just speaks to who he is. He wasn't even thinking about that, man.
It seemed like Utah knew because they started.
Yeah. He literally, yeah, I did. And that's why I was trying to tell everybody, they was going to start firing and doubling to make sure we had our proper space and things we work on. But he literally didn't even think about that, which is incredible. And I know if that was me, I would have been shooting from half, huh? Man, you kidding me?
A couple months ago when he was in, I think he was in range of Clay's record for most three-pointers in a game, and you didn't put it back in. Was this more just because it was a career high? This is a little bit of a different calculus there.
Well, yeah, that, and then, we had rode the guys so much, and, they didn't take their starters out until a minute into it, which always tells you that they're still trying to win the game, So it was more of that than anything. But a career high, this is a beautiful thing. It's career high for him. But, obviously, we got to shine a light on Dame. But, man, I just thought so many other guys played well. I thought Drew was incredible, and he has been. Just the effort and energy he gives us. So many guys. Nas stepped up, played big for us, when Josh was out. So I thought it was one of Ant's better floor games as well. A couple, turnovers, at the end or in the fourth, but I thought it was a really good game for him too. So obviously Dame was incredible, and we enjoyed that. I know y'all have gotten used to that over the years. I didn't have a healthy Dame last year, We got one this year, and he's put on some exceptional performances, and that one, ranks at the top of the list for me, so that was fun.
There you go. There's Coach Billups feeling pretty good about what he saw tonight. I love that Burkhart. He's trying to get Dame the new record, and Dame, those couple of possessions, wasn't trying to force it, wanted to do it the right way. He pulled him over and was like, bro, what are you doing right now? What's going on? Like, Chauncey couldn't figure out what was going on. He's like, dude, I'm trying to get you the record. I would already taken it out. Oh, yeah, I'll get it. I just think, trust me, Dame knew where he was at. I just think the way that he wanted to do it was the right way, with class. And I respect that. But I love that, man. Bill's like, yo, man, what's going on? Shoot the ball.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I also like how one of whoever was asking questions said something about how, Utah kind of noticed because Utah tightened their defense on him so hard and was kind of throwing the doubles at him, not letting him have the ball. It's like, geez, come on, Utah. Just let him have his flowers real quick. You're going to lose anyway.
But didn't you think Dame, he took that three, which came in the flow of the offense, but I don't think he wanted to make a mockery of the situation by throwing up some type of junk with three guys on him, where he's just total disregard for his teammates. Like, I don't think he wanted to do it that way.
Oh, no.
There's a way to go about it.
Not at all. But the thing is, those deep shots are within Dame's range, so it's not like he's just throwing up a deep shot to throw it up. He's hit those multiple times.
That's true. But the three he took that he missed came within the offense, right?
Yes, it did. It did. And you saw it coming, too, because, the way – so he has that little swag, the way he brings the ball up, that, you knew if they were going to give him any space, it didn't matter where, he was going to pop it, and he did.
All right, 503-248-0620. Let's go out to the phones. Let's talk to Victor in Turkey. Victor, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, my friend. It's so impressive, the game. It was very impressive because, you see, they beat the team Utah. Utah is a very good team. It's a very powerful team. Is a team that very young, very energetic, balanced team. And also they have, the backcourt, Mike Conley. If you remember, Mike Conley was the best player in Memphis, Tennessee before he got older and gave the job to John Morant. Mike Conley, it wasn't easy to deal with him. But they got all the players, but the Blazers, with Damian. But as you said, the Blazers is not a good team, and the reason is if they didn't have, just for example, if they didn't have Damian Lillard, what they're gonna do? I mean, they would be out of even NBA. They wouldn't be considered as an NBA team because the only player that carried the team is Damian. I mean, it's obvious. So no, Blazers is a balanced team. So they're hoping that they add more players around Damian. But right now, we can see that Damian is the only one that tonight he carried the team on his own. But I want to say something about with all the respect to because I live in Portland. I know the climate, the rain and all of that, and I know that you are from Oklahoma. And I tell you, sometimes I watch OKC teams, I compare the teams I see the fans, I compare the fans. As I said, I don't want to disrespect the Blazer fans, but when I see them on the TV, that when the Blazers, they are 3 minutes and they are the Utah coming back at them, 10 points game, I don't see people are standing up, and cheering up. Like if you look at the OKC or Memphis, Tennessee, the gorilla with the costume, and with the drum, those are psychological. It's very important, but I don't know. I blame it on the weather. The weather is rainy and stuff like that makes the people kind of calm down. But I was raised in a hot climate. I'm very hyper. But you said, Chad, you like to play golf in Phoenix or Palm Springs or Phoenix, Arizona. You said it on the TV that you like to play golf in that area, my friend.
Yes, I like the sunshine. I like dry weather. And I like places where the golf ball flies very well. It makes me very happy.
Yeah, as I said, I hope that the Blazer fans be more energetic when they come to, if the Blazers make another run, they stand up and they kind of, they kind of bring the house down,
No, it's true. You're right, Victor, and I appreciate the phone call as always. But, the weather, it's kind of a drag out here from time to time. A lot of gray skies, a lot of rain. It's not like living in Phoenix. I know that much.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a fact right there.
Yeah. Yeah. The summers here, phenomenal.
Yes.
The winter times here can be a bit dreary at times. People aren't in a good mood. He's right. What can you say? I know it bothers me.
The gray is unfortunate. It sucks.
It wears on you after a while. He's right, though. Dame right now, I mean, that is the meal ticket. Like, can you imagine how unwatchable this team would be without Dame right now? Just brutal.
Yeah.
And by the way, I saw this stat, too. Dame right now averaging a career-high 30.1 points per game. And as someone pointed out, you think that core surgery was a good idea?
You think? That's why I said he's had shooting slumps. He's just adjusting to shooting healthy and actually, not having to force it and use muscles that he's not supposed to.
And there are people in this building who are like, I don't know, man. I don't think Dame's going to return to form. I think his best days are behind him. Really? Let's just wait and see. Let's let him get on the court and see what he looks like after the core surgery.
Yeah. Here's a quick story for you. I'll make it quick. Dame got me in trouble the other day, inadvertently.
He did?
You know how I told you a while back about how my daughters, they Nino me? That's the sound of a police siren if I say a curse word.
Yeah.
Well, they happened to be listening to the show I was hosting the other day, and I said Dame. And all of a sudden, my 5-year-old starts going, Nino, Nino, Nino. Mom's like, what? Dad said the bad word. And she heard it again. I said, Dame, Nino, Nino, Nino. And then my other daughter goes, no, but what if we say like a beaver dam? Is that the bad word, Mom? I need to know how to spell them so I know that I'm not saying the bad one. I don't know if Dad said the bad one, but then I referenced Dame again, and apparently my 5-year-old just starts, Dad won't stop saying the bad word. So we had to explain to them that no, Dame is not the bad word.
That's right. It sounds like a bad word.
He is a bad man, though, in a good way.
Yes. He's a bad boy. He was a bad boy tonight with 60. 503-248-0620. Let's go out to Dan in Beaverton. Dan, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Chad. Good talking to you.
Yeah, good talking with you. How about Dame tonight with 60?
Show me your blazer.
Show me your blazer.
Yeah, we've seen some history here in the last couple of days. Sean Lee passing away, that was kind of a sad story. And then Dame comes back with 60 points tonight. That was great. And I want to thank you, Chad, for getting me to get off my ass and order Root TV so I can watch things like happen tonight. I wouldn't be doing that if it weren't for you.
I'm proud of you, man, because ever since you've done it, every time you call in, you're happy with your decision because you've been able to see Dame do some good things. I love it.
Yeah, and not only Dame, but the whole team. Amp is coming into his own. He's going to be a franchise player, I think. It looks bright right now. It's raining outside, but it doesn't matter if we got the Blazers, right?
Yeah, if Dame's out there dropping 60, the sun is shining bright, man. I love it, Dan.
Thank you.
You got it, buddy. There's Dan at Beaverton. Oh, by the way, our boy Victor referenced Mike Conley Jr. tonight. I looked it up. He's 35 years old, 6'1". He's been around for a long time. Burkhart was kind enough to remind me of when he was drafted. When did he come into the NBA?
Oh, way back in the day when Greg Oden did.
Same draft in 07. He's still in the league, and he was drafted when Oden was drafted.
I sent out a tweet years ago because it was funny, and it's weird that he's still playing. I was like, who would have thought in 2018 or whatever year it was that Mike Conley would have been the better Buckeye, and Evan Turner would be the former Ohio State star playing for the Blazers. Ouch.
Evan Turner had a better NBA Buckeye career than Oden.
Yes, unfortunately.
I like Conley, though. That's a cool cat right there.
Oh, he's been good for so long. And his prime run in Memphis, where he's one of the best two-way point guards, it's a shame it took him so long to make his all-star game. But it was deserved. He's been so good for so long. It's unfortunate, too, that he makes $24 million a year or something like that this year and next year, because if he continues to play like he's playing right now, Chad, that's a perfect backup point guard for the next few years for a lot of championship teams.
Let's go back out to the phones. Let's see here. East Amity, Ralph the Landscaper joining us. Ralphie, welcome to the show, my friend.
Well, hey, Chen, how are you? Everything okay?
Everything is great. Yeah, Dame, people are in a good mood. Dame went wild tonight with 60 points.
Well, I don't hear you on the radio. At least lately, I haven't heard you quite as much as in the past. I mean, you used to work all the time, probably a little too much. I mean, nowhere near up to my level, but for a guy that's out of shape and works on the radio, you seem to work quite a bit. But lately here, you haven't been working as much, and I'm just curious, is the parole and work release situation working out okay for you?
Yeah, the parole and work release thing's working out fine, but here's the situation. When I've got things going on, I now have competent individuals that I trust to step in and fill my shoes. So it's very nice to have a good team, as you're aware, because you've put good people in good places, as I have. And so now when I'm out or have some other business to attend to, I've got people that can step in and get the job done. Oh, bye, Ralph. Appreciate that call. Let's see here. Why don't we get you up to date with a scoreboard report brought to you by Elene.
On 620 Rip City Radio presents the Scoreboard Report, brought to you by the Stadium Sports Bar and Grill, Elene's ultimate venue for sports fans every Monday night, featuring beer and wing specials and more.
All right, we start in Orlando, where the Magic take out the Pacers 126-120. Wendell Carter Jr., 18 points and 10 rebounds. In Philadelphia, the Sixers over the Nets, 137-133. Tyrese Maxey with 27 points. In Houston, the Wizards over the Rockets, 108-103. Kyle Kuzma, 33 points and 9 boards. In Milwaukee, the Bucks over the Nuggets, 107-99. Giannis with 33 points, 14 rebounds. Aaron Gordon with 26 points, 14 rebounds in the loss. Elsewhere, the Timberwolves over the Pelicans in New Orleans, 111-102. Edwards, 37 points and 6 rebounds. Hawks take out the Thunder in Oklahoma City, 137-132. Trae Young with 33 points and 11 assists. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 36 in the loss. Warriors top the Grizzlies, 122-120 in San Francisco. Curry with 34. In Sacramento, the Raptors over the Kings, 113-95. Pascal Siakam, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. And in Los Angeles, the Lakers top the Spurs 113-104. Anthony Davis back in the Lakers lineup, 21 points, 12 boards, and 4 blocks. Just picking right up where he left off. And that is your scoreboard report brought to you by A. Also, Patrick Mahomes was a full participant at Chiefs practice today. And according to Todd Lebo, who we spoke with from 810 WHB in Kansas City today, it looks like Mahomes going to be in much better condition for that game against Cincinnati on Sunday than what we thought when we saw that injury against Jacksonville. And by the way, Burkhart, you had a chance to see it, but at the end of that Warriors-Grizzlies game that Poole ended up hitting the game winner in, another ridiculous maneuver by the NBA. You want to explain what went down with Steph Curry?
Oh, my gosh.
Stupid.
They're late in the game, crunch time, tight ball game. They run a normal Warrior set where he gets the ball out of his hands, runs around a couple picks under the baseline, back up, wants the ball up top. The ball got past the Poole. He is right there on the logo clapping, give me the ball. Poole shot it. It was a bad shot, and Steph was mad. So he took his mouthpiece out and threw it. Wasn't mad at a call, wasn't mad at he's mad at the play, mad at Poole. Ref ejected him.
And it had nothing to do with the officials.
Nothing to do. It wasn't him upstaging the official or anything. Oh, by rule, you're not supposed to throw your equipment or whatever the heck it is. But I try to not get into this whole the refs were bad or they controlled the game. They did that. That is a ref interjecting himself when it just doesn't need to happen.
Well, it's unacceptable. Here's why. Why did people go to that game tonight?
To watch Steph.
Yeah.
Just like people were at Moda to watch Dame.
Yes. They're there to see Steph going up against Ja.
Yeah.
That's it. They're not there to see the officials. They're not there for any other reason than to see the stars. It's the same thing with Dame tonight. So when you can't just be throwing a guy out like that. Now, if he takes his mouthpiece out and chucks it at an official, kick him out.
Much different. Yeah.
But don't get your butt hurt just because he decided to toss the old mouthpiece and kick him out.
Yeah, and who cares if it throws it into the first row and it hits a fan in the leg? If I'm sitting in the first row and Steph's mouthpiece hits me, I'm going, eBay.
Yeah. I might put it in my mouth and just protect my teeth the rest of the game.
I'm not going that far, but grab a napkin, pick it up, eBay. I'm paying a couple mortgage payments with that bad boy.
No, just think of it like your favorite athlete of all time, like Joe Montana lobbing his mouthpiece into the stands. You're putting it in your mouth.
Oh, yeah, my dad would take it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to be upset. Oh, like a Warrior fan's going to hate that. Dude, did you see it on TV, man? Steph lobbed his mouthpiece and hit me. I got it with me.
Yeah, I'm going to be upset. Ken Griffey Jr., throws a sweaty ball cap at me one day. Oh, that's so gross, and you hit me. I came here to enjoy the game.
The refs are stupid. I know Dwight tries to defend him sometimes. Oh, it's a tough game to officiate. No, it's not really. They just make it a lot harder sometimes with their horrible decision-making. They're buffoons. All right, let's go back out to the phones. I can't recall at any point in time that I've had a discussion with Ralph the Landscaper that he just disappeared. You disappeared on me, Ralph, but you're back. And there he is, Ralph the Landscaper. Welcome back to the show. What happened?
I don't know, Chan. It's just all of a sudden you were talking and I would start to say something and you were gone.
Well, welcome back.
Well, thank you. You were talking about how you have good people that make it so you can, do your work release and probation and all the community service hours you have to do.
That's correct.
And I'm glad you're in that situation. And my fear though, Chan, is well, let me comment on that mouthpiece deal.
Yeah.
If Burkhart was a real Blazer fan, he would get a hold of that mouthpiece and he'd immediately put it in a plastic sandwich bag, put it in his pocket, and then what he would do is he would just scout around on the police scanner, listen close, just listen real close, and then he would go to a gruesome murder scene, and he would take the DNA off that thing and put it on like a knife and throw it down there. And then that would do that. That's what a real Blazer fan would do.
Yeah,
Don't you think, Chan?
I agree, and I'm a huge Bronco fan. Let's see here. If I were to catch a Raider player's mouthpiece, I would definitely plant it at the scene of the crime to see if I get one of their best players put away for a long time.
Yeah, no, you just got to rub the DNA on the weapon. That's the one to go with. You don't want to leave the mouthpiece, because they would just say, "Oh, somebody left their mouthpiece here." Oh, well, they'd look at it and put it in the bag, but if they found the quote weapon, which it wouldn't be, then they would look at the DNA on that baby, and bang, off they go.
Yeah.
To Oracle Arena or whatever that dump is called there.
Yeah, and that's a great idea. I watch a lot of forensic files, and I love the real crime drama. The DNA does not lie. That much I do know.
Yes,
it tells a story.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't lie. Chan. So here's my fear, though. You got somebody who could take your place. First of all, I want to say this. I've been listening here, quite a bit, and here in the winter I do that, and especially and I heard Chris Burkhart on quite a bit, and he's doing a nice job. And so is that other kid what's his name, Thurston Howell the third. What's his name? What's the
Preston
kid's name?
Charles the Fourth.
Okay, well is it Preston? Is that his name?
Yeah, Preston. Yes, Preston Charles the Fourth, and it just bothers me because when I hear Preston Charles, and then they throw the fourth on there with the Roman numerals, I just feel like it's I feel like it's kind of hoity-toity, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's kind of like, did you go to Yale? No, I didn't. And he's doing a good job too. He certainly doesn't have the, he's like kind of like a thin limb that blows around in the wind. He's not, and Burkhart's more stable and kind of seems to get the bigger picture.
Yeah,
that
no
Thurston Howell the third. I heard him on there one day talking about how good Herbert was, and just went on and on the whole show one day talking about Herbert. And I was going to call in and say, well, why don't you talk about Akili Smith and Joey Harrington? And I was just going to go down a list of Duck quarterbacks that are just abstract failures in the NFL, but I didn't want to hurt the kids' feelings.
Yeah.
I think a segment of the audience would be very proud of me for doing that.
Well, just so you know, Thurston Howell the Fourth today told me that he would rather have Jalen Hurts at quarterback instead of Joe Burrow. And that's when I knew that I told him, I said, hey, when the wagon shows up, don't ask questions later on today. Just jump in. They're going to haul you away and treat you with medication. Just do what they say.
Yeah, and when they say to you one day they're in the office, hey, we're going to have you start working on the love song deal there, that radio deal, the love songs, it's not because you like the love songs, but it's because you have poor judgment when it comes to sports, and we don't want to look like buffoons on this radio station.
I've always wanted to do, I got to be honest with you, you ever heard, I love John Tesh and his radio show, and I was always a big fan of Delilah. I wouldn't mind doing one of those like overnight deals where I'm spinning love songs. I've always kind of wanted to do that.
Yeah, Chan. Well, someday off the air, when we talk again off the air, I'll tell you a Delilah story.
Oh.
Yeah.
She worked up in Seattle. Was she based out of Seattle?
Yeah, she was. She worked at a station up there. This is why I was very young, and I would hear her on this radio station at night.
106.9.
Well, way before that, I think she was on another one. It used to be called Kazam, because it was like a hippy-dippy deal up there, all those stoner hippies that, used to listen to it. And I think she was on that at night, if I remember right. And later in life, I met a guy that worked there, and he worked on the air shift. I said, oh, you worked on the radio there, honey? Yeah. And he was having me help him, bid a job. And I said, oh, okay, good. And then he told me that some stories about her, and I won't tell you right now, Chan, because I have to make sure my lawyer is got me covered here on that. So anyway, Chan, here's my fear, though. I noticed kind of I don't know if this is a budget cut or what your radio deal did there, but when I go on the YouTube, it says Fan in Rip City under the phone. And it used to say Ralph under there. Or it used to say Victor under there, or it used to say Ron in Salt Lake, or and now it just says Fan in Rip City, and I think that's sort of degrading to the callers, and I need you to get that fixed. So I don't want them to come and cut Burkhart out of your budget. If they see that, we can save a couple bucks here, let's take him out of there now. Because whoever used to put the guy's name in there, they took that off, and now now I'm just
I see what
fan
you're
in
doing.
Rip City.
Yeah, I see what you're talking. You're talking about the graphic on our live YouTube stream where, like right now, it's a split screen, so it's got a telephone on the right side, and underneath it says "fan" in Rip City, and on the left side, it's got me in the other box, and it says Chad doing on Twitter at Chad in Rip City.
Yeah. And then when Burkhart's on the other side where the phone is now, it has his name. Now, I don't care to have my name on there. That's not the point. The point is, if these bean counters in your little nickel and dime office, who you've admitted on the radio are too cheap to run the heat there at night, if they see this opportunity, they're going to say, "Look, we maybe can get rid of Burkhart now, and we could save $9 or $10 a day on that." So I'm just warning you. I want to make sure
I appreciate that. No, I hadn't thought of it like that, but you're right. I need to make sure that I protect Burkhart and Thurston Howell the fourth, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, because he when he was on the SS Minnow, he wasn't as pretentious. But when he came off the SS Minnow, that's when things kind of went off the rails, because he realized his future was limited to a little island, and and that's that. But no, as I was saying, Burkhart, I think he's done a very nice job, and I noticed they have him hosting that what is that, courtside Monday night thing there? Is that what that is?
Yes, courtside. He does fill in on the Rip City Drive. He does. He was doing color with Preston on the high school basketball the other night. Like Burkhart's doing a little bit of everything. He's money.
Well, that's good. Now, I know he's listening, or he can go back to the cassette and listen on the tape here. But I'll say this, Chan, and you know me well enough to know that I'm not going to make this up. But when you go around this radio dial, and I travel a little bit, and I listen to various NBA play-by-play guys, and some of them are just old, broken, dried-up pieces of toast that I don't want to hear. They're just bad, and others sound like they're 14 years old, and some are good, and Travis is very good, and there's just some that are up in the upper cream of the crop, right? And Travis is in that group. Well, the same is true for listening to the radio around Portland and down south in California, where I go for my towing business. Chan is unique. Chan kind of does a lot of things. You hear the person, you hear about his life, you hear about stories about Oklahoma, most of them except the ones that involve the police, and you hear all kinds of different stories about things in life, and it all kind of makes a human element to it. So hopefully Burkhart will do that and not end up like some talking head banana. Like, I won't mention some of these other radio stations here that sound like you may as well wind up a Jack-in-the-Box
Thurston Howell the fourth.
And then pour in, a little bit, and then pour in a bottle of whiskey and spray some WD-40 on it and see what you get. That's I don't want him to.
Ralphie, I got a question for you. Can you see the YouTube live stream right now by any chance?
Yeah, I do. That looks good. Some guy in Amity. I don't care. I don't need the publicity, and it's East Amity.
Yeah,
we
East
need to know our directions too.
East Amity, some guy.
East Amity. I don't care. I don't need the publicity. I mean that's for sure. And anyway, Chan, I know you sent me that message about you always comment every time of this year, usually in the fall, but about the guy that wants to buy my landscape business and I said, I haven't heard from him. Boom, he came out of the woodwork again here. That's why I haven't been on with you in a few weeks. And let's just say his offer's a little bit short still.
So he's kind of a banana, a talking head banana.
Well, yeah, he just doesn't realize, I don't have a business that's going backwards here. My business is going forward and up. And so his offer needs to go forward and way up. And then maybe we can talk, but I don't care. He must not be serious. So I did want to say there's a guy on the YouTube who's doing a nice job there, and Kenneth Bauer. Kenneth Bauer is kind of entertaining a little bit, and there's always the very pleasant Sue on there. Sue's very nice, and I think the caller of the night again is, as usual, is Victor. So I'm going to let you go, Chan, and I don't know what else to tell you except good job taking some time off. I'd rather see you do that than turn into some old dried up, rusty, smelly irritable rubber tire that's been left on the side of the freeway in Palm Springs for 4 years. So you need to, get out and enjoy yourself a little bit. I'm glad you're doing that, and that, as long as you get that community service and probation and work release stuff all ironed out, good.
Hey, I like this new name he's got up there for you, Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, that's somebody told me when I bought that towing business that I'm kind of a holding company for. They said you should call it Ralph the Wrecker. And I went, no, it's not. I'm kind of in the background. I'm just the guy who put up the millions of dollars to buy it, and then we'll sell it back to the son, technically, of the guy I bought it from, because his kid wasn't ready. Like Thurston Howell III on your station, this kid wasn't ready to own a towing business. And then Lucy goes in there, manned my office in East Amity for a long time, and she turned that sucker from a $3 million to 14.5 now at the latest assessment. You know that, and so all that does is, I told this guy. He said, "We're going to have a woman run this thing," and I said, "Yes, we're going to have a woman run it. And if you cause any trouble with her, first of all, you'll go away singing like a soprano. Number one, if you know what I mean, and number two, then you'll hear from me." And so I'll be the one when you're doubled over that puts the lipstick on you and throws you out the door. But now he just appreciates Lucy for all she's done there, and Lucy's going to walk away with, let's just say her percentage, which is very nice. And of course, I always tell you, Chan, you could have had a date with her, but you sort of dropped the ball on that. But that's okay.
Yeah, I've been known to screw things up from time to time.
People make mistakes. So anyway, I'm glad you're back, Chan, and I just wanted to drop in and say hello and tell you that, I'm glad your Burkhart kid there is doing good. Now, imagine if he got a nice haircut and he took that shirt and he threw it into the crowd and got a new one. He could actually maybe do the Monday night and maybe a Friday night show, too, for him.
I'll pass it along to him.
Yeah, he could. He could do like a Friday night SmackDown when he takes that shirt off, because I'm afraid to see what's underneath that. See you, Chan.
There you go. There's Wreck-It Ralph from East Amity right there. Appreciate that phone call. Oh, that was good. Stephen Vaughn chiming in. Come on, Ralph. You don't like me anymore? Oh, by the way, I just saw this. Burkhart, what's your interpretation on this? Josh Hart tweeted out, "A lot of disrespect going on. Just remember." He put that out today at 10:46, roughly about 30 minutes ago. What do you think he means? What's that in reference to?
I don't know. I think probably if you think about it, he's a guy who tends to use his social media, and so it's hard to block out the fact that his name is put in every single trade rumor. I think that's probably hard to do. I mean, it's our job, and it's a fans. They're going to talk about it, but that's got to be hard to deal with. I wouldn't want to hear my name in trade rumors all the time. But.
No, but he understands the biz. He understands the situation that, and I'm sure his agent's spoken with him, like he's the most likely of all the guys to get moved before the deadline, just based on his contract status.
Yeah, and maybe there's something else going on. I don't know. It's an interesting tweet. It's that time of year, though. Like, I wish I had that power, because, like, if Josh Hart tweeted out, like, the emoji of, like, the eyes looking just right now and nothing else, or an emoji with, like, the my lips are sealed, oh, my gosh, conspiracy theorists and Rip City, oh, my God, what's he mean by that? Like, if I had that power, I would just tweet random emojis just to mess with people.
Let's go out to the phones. Troy in Vancouver. Troy, welcome to the fifth quarter. What's up?
Hey, Chad. How's it going, man?
I'm doing well, buddy. Great game tonight. Dame was 60 on 21 of 29 shooting, most efficient 60 game of all time.
Oh, I know. It's just insane, the roller coaster ride that, the Blazers have got us on a regular basis,
Yeah, it's just part of being a part of Rip City, isn't it?
More or less. He had a couple things. One slightly off topic. I wasn't sure if I was going to get in after Fart the Landscaper, but Have you talked to Trav at all about, his feelings on, was he excited about the Giants, making it as far as they did, or was he bummed? Or I just wonder because, don't really hear from Trav that much.
No, I did. I asked him. He was on the show last week, and I asked him, before that game against Philly, because I knew that what he truly wanted. He had told me he didn't want the Giants to do too well because he didn't want them to have any delusions about keeping Daniel Jones around because he wants a different quarterback. But he said, hey,
I wondered about that.
He said, once they're in the playoffs, you got to pull for him. So he wanted him to win, but he's not a believer in Daniel Jones. That's what he told me.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But hey, it's been, it's been a wild week. And one thing I didn't hear, I'm sure there's tons of people that did this, and talking about Sean's, was he's the only one that I've ever actually turned the sound down on TV and had to listen to the call of the game on the radio.
Oh, yeah. That was, that was the norm, and that's what, when I was younger, my dad was not a big fan of paying $14.95 for Blazer cable. So
$14.95.
I would go over to my friend Chris's house, and his dad would always get Blazer cable. So when the Lakers were in town or a big game, I'd head over there. And his dad always turned down the TV volume because he wasn't a fan of Pat Lafferty, let's just put it that way. But he loved Sean's and would always crank it up. And it was awesome to hear Sean's as we were watching Blazer Cable. The best.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing, there was nothing like it. I mean, there's been other guys. And, Wheels was okay. And, I think Trav does, a great job. But, Sean's was the Sean's. And, we'll miss him.
Oh, yeah. There's
been
never
a rough
going to be
week.
another Sean's, man. He was a one of a kind, but a rough week for the franchise to lose, two quality individuals in John Curry and the Sean. So it was nice to have something like tonight to celebrate and have some feel-good moments for sure.
Yeah, really, the last two wins, I mean, that's been uplifting.
No question.
I just don't have a lot of optimism for the season in general, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's tough because you know that this team right now, as they're put together, has limitations, and it's unfortunate. But it's nice to have Dame to be able to sit back and enjoy what he has to offer. He's awesome.
Oh, by the way, before I go, I gotta hit the chops here a little bit. The other day when somebody called you at 3:00, and when they should know that you're going on the air. Well, hey, how does anybody know lately? You could be sipping Mai Tai somewhere or out on the links or, been gone a little bit here lately. So
that's true. Okay, touche. I'm with you on that. That's right.
Take care, buddy.
Trust me, man, if we get more sunshine, I'll find ways to disappear from the show and get out on the golf course, Troy. No problem with that. Let's go out to Jake in Vancouver. Jake, what's up? Welcome to the fifth quarter.
What's going on?
What's up?
I thought it was a good win tonight.
It was a great win, man. How about Dame dropping 60?
Oh yeah, he was on fire in the third and fourth quarter.
He was, man. He was killing it, loved it, and I want to see more performances like that, man. I could sit and watch Dame all night.
I want to know if there are any trade talks for the Blazers.
Jake, I got to be honest with you. I haven't heard any specific rumors yet. We got the report from Chris Haynes, which was a bit weird because he said the Blazers are going to be aggressive in trying to improve the team and build around Dame, but offered up no specific names. We do know that, based on a couple of reports, that it appears that Ant is basically untouchable. So, I would expect Josh Hart to get moved before the deadline because, he's going to opt out at the end of the season and look to get paid, and the Blazers aren't going to be able to afford him and Jeremy Grant being the number one priority. So I just don't – and they don't have any draft assets to move, so I don't expect any big moves before the deadline. I think Hart will get moved for some ancillary pieces, but nothing major. And hopefully, as we always hope, around the deadline here in Portland, that changes. But I'm just being honest. I don't expect anything big, and I wouldn't get your hopes up. Let's keep things rolling here in the fifth quarter. We're going to come back and We're going to take a listen to Dame and hear what he had to say following the game tonight. Blazers get the win 134-124. Next game coming up on Saturday at home against Toronto with a 7 o'clock tip. Game day at 4:30. You got the fifth quarter with Chad Doing and Chris Burkhardt here on 620 Rip City Radio.
All right, we have a few minutes, so let's jump in on the YouTube chat, see what's going on. Let's turn around, make sure we're all looking good. The chat, as you can see, Chad types in there the ha 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 ha. You have us laughing. You guys are on point as always. Perfect reactions to our callers every single time, which is pretty amazing. Also cool to see some friendly faces in the chat to the Rip City crew here. Stephen Vaughn in the chat. No. We all love that guy around here. Some of us, I never worked with him, but obviously Chad did, and we all know him around here. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, we're diving into thruple land. Oh gosh, I can't do that. We can't be diving into thruple land already. The night we still got time in here. Does this work? Oh, it doesn't work. I tried getting it. Well, it's because it's on the other one. Let's see. Are we ready for this?
Jeremy Grant hits the thruple.
Yes, he does. Thank you for the kind words there, Stephen. About 2 minutes left in this break, so we can keep chatting up. Nick is staying on brand. Today he's not doing trades, though. He's firing Billups and bringing in any other person possible who has a pulse who he thinks he could coach basketball. Okay. Bring in Jamie Hudson, friend of the show. Rip City loves her. She's been covering the team for a while. She coaches high school basketball locally. She knows what's up. What's new with the thruple? Here we go again.
Jeremy Grant hits the thruple.
If you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. A minute and a half till we're back. What else we got? The calls have been good tonight. The chat's been good tonight. A solid 30 viewers for most of the night, which is awesome as you guys continue to help this thing grow. It's still in its infancy, and we're loving the fact that you guys are here every single night. And I brought my chargers tonight, guys, so we don't have to worry about the computer dying in the middle of a segment. So go me, right? And, yeah, that's what we got. Good night for basketball. Blazers got the W. Damian Lillard dropped 60. Almost a career high. So great night to be a Blazer. Good night to jump on the YouTube chat as usual. Tell your friends about it. Get them all to like, share, subscribe, build this up so you guys can just have fun every single night. Jeffrey says the shirt is fly. Don't listen to the haters. What haters? I don't listen to them. Also, as an Islander, I'm going to proudly wear this whenever I want. If you hate it, that's a you problem, not a me problem at all. Plus, it's from Hilo Hatties, which if you know, that's the place to go get your Hawaiian shirts in Hawaii. That place is awesome. All right, 35 seconds till we're back. Take a quick break. I'll leave. Chad will be right back with more fifth quarter.
The fifth quarter poster play of the night is brought to you by Collection Connection, the leaders in framing sports memorabilia, team awards, and so much more. Collection Connection offers you a one-stop, full-service framing experience. Find them online at COLLCONN.com.
9:18 to play second quarter. There's a steal by Simons. 2-on-1. Simons drives, lays it up. No good. Sharp there for the putback jam. And a foul. Shaden Sharp just leaped over the back of Taylor Horton Tucker.
He put his chest on the rim. That's a little hyperbole, but If you're listening, you get my point.
Yes.
All right, Burkhardt, I think we have a consensus. Everyone is on the same page. Our boy Jake was tatered.
Hey, I think so. You said it, not me. But the chat was on it. They know what's up.
I'm just jealous he was having a better time than we were.
No. We're having a great time.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
But I had to jump in during the commercial break. That's what I like about this YouTube thing, man. I've come jump in, talk to him during the commercial break, and have a little fun. But I had to give everyone in the YouTube chat their props for jumping right on that caller. Also, pretty cool to have old Stephen Vaughn in the chat tonight, man.
I love it, man. I love Steven. I miss him. I'm angry that other stations took him away from us, you know?
I'm not.
Yeah, it's true.
Sorry, Steve.
One man's loss is another man's gain. But, dude, like, I'm always amazed by, like, the midweek drinker.
Yes.
Like, maybe I'm just not cool or I'm just soft. Like, I don't know how people can do it. How can you get tatered and then get up and go to work?
I can't get tatered at all. I like to have a drink when I get home, even on a late night like tonight. Sometimes I have a quick drink
to relax.
Because even I've talked about this, I can't get home and go to bed. I have to wind down somehow. So I won't be to sleep till like 1 at the earliest, right? But yeah, I can't get tatered every single night. I can't get just smashed.
So you use a drink to relax, but that's different than getting.
I don't even use it to relax. I just use it because I like I like it. Like it tastes good. So I go play a video game or watch a movie, grab a quick little drink, and boom, end my night.
Nothing wrong with that. And it's a good time to unwind because you don't have the girls running around going, Nino, Nino, Nino.
That's for sure.
I love that. Tell me your daughter's hiding your wallet in the fridge and putting your in the freezer.
And it's all the same child. It is my middle child, my 5-year-old. Just the other night, I went to go cover that high school basketball game with Preston. I have no phone and I have no computer. I'm like, hey, where's my phone? And all of a sudden, Brooklyn jumps up. She's like, I hid it, Dad. You're going to have to find it. And like you said, you have to play that game. During Christmas, I did find my wallet because she hid it, but none of my cards were in it, and all my credit cards were in the Christmas tree. So I had to find them all. And then one day she hid my wallet. I couldn't find it, and I got irritated. So I'm like, I'm going to go get a bowl of ice cream. And I did, and I opened up the freezer, and there was my wallet in the freezer. And she lost it. She's like, ha, 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 I hid it, Dad. I can't believe you found it. How did you find it? I got lucky. That's how I found it.
That's so good. All right, let's take a listen to Dame Dalla.
It's time to go inside the locker room with Damian Lillard, presented by Oregon Dungeness Crab. Sustainably harvested, uniquely delicious, and always wild. Oregon Dungeness Crab always sounds good for dinner.
I think this one, I don't know. I think anytime you score 60 points is special, but I think this one I just felt like, it came pretty simple. I thought I played the game as it should have been played. I knew it was a game that we needed to win, so I came out with the mentality to attack and be aggressive. But it wasn't like I just came out on fire. It wasn't one of those games. I just think it was just different because it felt so simple. I didn't feel like I just went out there and just went after it. It was like taking what they gave me. I was just putting energy into the right places. I felt like I was making the right passes. I was attacking the gaps. They was in the drop defense. I was taking the threes. If the paint looked open, I was attacking the paint. It was pretty simple. I don't want to say it was easy because they had some big bodies and some long defenders out there, but I think usually, I get into a groove where I'm just going without, making those simple plays, that teams start to come after me sooner. And I think because I wasn't just like, I was kicking it ahead, I was swinging it, so it didn't feel like they came after me until the very end. So I think that's why it was probably the most simple one out of all of them.
It seemed like in the second quarter when you started to heat up, it was a lot of threes, and then in the third quarter when you kept it going, it was a
Yeah, it was just the adjustment. Obviously I knew they play a drop defense. They want to funnel everybody to the rim. Kessler's a hell of a shot blocker. So I knew that I just had to set my guy up at the level of the screen and be able to come off of it clean, and I would be able to get some good looks. And, they went in. So I think in the second half, because of that, naturally, guys are going to move closer to you. And, sometimes they were switching. Sometimes they just tried to run another guy at me, and I was going away from the double. In the switch, I was making my move quick. I was just able to get into the paint because they were reacting to the threes. And that was it. That's why, I feel like it was pretty simple.
Chauncey said you were unaware that you were close to your personal record until he informed you, and then you wanted to go for it, but it seemed like Utah was maybe knew as well, and they were kind of trying to deny you the ball.
Yeah, I went to the free throw line. I knew I scored 60 at the line, and I thought he was about to take me out. But he was like, I just haven't took you out because, you get your career high. And I was like, okay. So the next time I came down, they double teamed me, and I just rose up for a three real quick, and then they came down and scored. And, it was still time on the clock, but, I wasn't going to be that thirsty to come back down, with that much time left in the game just to try to get a career high. I didn't think that was the right thing to do. So that was just the way it ended.
Dave, how much, you had 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. How much does that other stuff does that get you into a rhythm to be able to?
All right, there you go. That's Dame. That's what he just said is what I respect the most is that, he wasn't going to get the career high, the new career high with, in a cheap way. And I like that. There is a way to play the game. There's a right way to go about it. I feel like he handled those final moments just right. He got the 3 up. It didn't go in. He didn't try to force it when the Jazz were clearly trying to keep the ball out of his hands. They didn't want to get it. I think his first career high came against Utah.
Yeah, it was the 59.
The 59.
Yeah. So I agree, since he tends to be the guy who doesn't like when the unwritten rules are kind of broke against him.
Well, my favorite moment was when, remember Chris Paul?
Yep.
Scored that bucket when the Blazers had conceded the game, and he just ran right in and got the layup, and then Dame walked over and slapped the ball out of his hands like, what'd you get out of that?
Yeah. Wasn't a fan. So, yeah, I like that. Don't force it. That ain't worth it. Let it come naturally.
I love that. I know exactly what Dame was thinking. Why you got to be a B? Come on, man. Why you got to do that? I just like that. I like the way Dame handles it. You got any final thoughts?
I am laughing at Rachel on YouTube is laughing at the use of tatered. And I said that's just a Chadism, and now they want a pamphlet of nothing but Chadisms.
I don't think anyone wants that. let's not dumb down the rest of the population with my Chadisms.
I'm glad the shirt. People love the shirt today.
I like the shirt. I got no problem with it.
Yes. So thank you to the chat for rocking with my island vibes, baby. I don't care what Ralph says. I like the shirt. I like the hair.
I like that you embrace your island vibes. I wish I was on the island right now playing golf. I love it over there.
They got some nice courses.
Dude, the island is, I've been there multiple times now, but the first time I went over there, it didn't take long for me to get off the plane, walk outside, and be like, oh, this is why they call it paradise over here.
Yeah.
And my favorite part is, like, there's been multiple times where I've been over there and, like, 2 in the morning, just fall asleep in the poolside chair.
Yeah.
And the air and the sweetness of the air and the warmth, it feels good all night long.
Yes, it's also nice being down close to the equator where you don't have to deal with the sun setting at 10 o'clock for part of the year and then 4 o'clock for another part. It's just a consistent, like, 7:30, 8 o'clock sunset. Good to go. Temperature doesn't change that often. It's just beautiful every single day.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us. Great job tonight on the YouTube chat. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Good phone calls tonight. Jake, wherever you're at, I hope that you wake up to your alarm and get to where you need to be tomorrow. Our next Blazer broadcast is going to come up Saturday. Burkhart and I will be here for game day at 4:30. Tip-off with the Raptors at 7. That game will be at Moda Center. And tomorrow, Justin Myers with Rip City Mornings at 6. Dwight and I will have the Rip City Drive at 3. Your final score tonight from Moda Center, the Trailblazers over the Jazz, 134-124. Dame with 60. For Chris Burkhardt, I'm Chad doing. Show me your blazer. We'll catch you tomorrow.